Well, we're sticking with Rangers very quickly. Rangers have been linked today with a Swiss winger,
Yeah.
Samuel Bally, who is on the books at Como. He was on loan last summer at FC Zurich. I don't know how much there is in that one, but several reports in Switzerland seem to say that there's been concrete talks held, which I guess will be good news for Rangers fans because they've not signed anyone yet, really, of note, apart from Max Aarons. The other name that I keep seeing about, Keith, right?
Well, just on that one, Dan,
Go
we're trying. I've contacted a couple of Italian friends of mine and waiting to see if there's any word from Como tonight confirming or denying that story. So we're working on that one as we speak.
Yeah. The other one I was
watching the tennis.
The other one that I was going to say, the name that I keep seeing is Jamie Vardy. Surely there's nothing in Jamie Vardy to Rangers. Who would that make sense for?
Well, it's funny. You had wee Scotty on last night talking about interviewing Jermaine Defoe. And Jermaine Defoe, although he was a ripe old age by the time he arrived at Ibrox, was still able to make a fairly meaningful contribution. And in the season that Rangers end up winning the title. Jamie Vardy, he's fit as a fiddle, fit as a butcher's dog, still a goal scorer, was playing in the England's Premier League just a couple of months ago. I think that, I could, absolutely, I could see it making sense. I mean, he's not the future, but he's a guy that guarantees you goals. That's the old expression, isn't it? And so, look, I don't know. It's one of these rumours that refuses to go away, isn't it?
It's weird.
You can understand why people might expect Russell Martin to be sort of in the market there. You could also understand, there is, because it's a name, Jamie Vardy's a huge name. So you wonder if the American owners are looking at that, saying, that there's a little bit of stardust, even though Jamie Vardy's at the wrong end of his career. Does anybody really believe that Jamie Vardy wouldn't come up here as long as he stayed fit? He'd help himself to a bucket load of goals.
Paul Gianni in the comments says, it'd be a signing in the, the shape of Defoe, which I think's a fair point. But he's 39 in January.
Yeah, well, he's at a ripe old age, that's for sure.
Aye.
So you're not going to get another 3 years out the guy, but you might get 1 or 2. And as I said, Daniel, Rangers in a position, and I think anything like that is going to have to depend on what happens with the strikers that they do have. Auchenhowie already, and Cyril Dessers and Hamza Egerman. They might, if both of those players are to be sold over the course of the next couple of weeks, then Rangers have a bit of a firepower problem, don't they? So they'll have to look at all options in terms of what strikers are available and what they can do in the market between now and the Champions League qualifiers.
Aye. I mean, reminded that Ronaldo's 41, of course. Your loyal Muppet says Vardy and Coady would lift this club off its knees. Now, Connor Coady was today pictured in pre-season training with Leicester City at their first day back training today. So, I mean, I wouldn't read too much into it, but it's certainly not going to be completed anytime soon, is it?
I'm surprised by this one because it's obvious that Rangers want Connor Coady, right? We all know that. There's no secret to it. And I can totally understand why they want Connor Coady. I think he'll be a brilliant signing for Rangers. Why are they not just getting the deal done? I don't know why this one's dragging on. I know that he had TV commitments, obviously, at the start of the summer there. I'm surprised to see him going to Leicester, put it that way. I would have thought that deal should be far enough down the line right now for as soon as his TV commitments were over at the Under-21 European Championships, for him to be arriving in Glasgow, getting something signed and getting out in the training pitch with Russell Martin and his players, because if this one comes off, he's going to be a cornerstone of Russell Martin's side. You would want him, if you're Russell Martin, surely on that pitch as soon as possible, working on the way that he wants the game to be played.
You really rate Coady, don't? I mean, not. Yeah. I'm not saying I don't, but you really rate him, don't you?
Yeah, I think he's really a really robust, solid. First and foremost, he's a defender, and he loves defending. You can tell that in him. But he's also, he's good with the ball. His feet, distributes it well. Can understand entirely why Russell Martin would have identified him. If he has, maybe Russell Martin's not identifying him. Maybe that's the the recruitment team. But whoever it is, I totally understand why there's an interest in Connor Coady. What I'm struggling with is we've all known about it for quite a while. What was he doing at Leicester today?
And what's the hold up?
Yeah, Rangers really should be driving on that one, because how long have we been saying it now, Dan? Talking about running out of time.
I
I
know.
mean, we were saying that weeks and weeks and weeks, probably months ago, that Rangers are running out of time for this summer.
Months
So,
ago,
so a guy like Connor Coady, there's no real risk involved in that. You know what you're getting. If he's a priority, and I think he is, then I'm surprised. Let's just put it that way. I'm surprised that Rangers haven't got it to the situation where he's ready to arrive in Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.